Hello, everybody. Y'all will give us some time to get everyone into the group. All right, so I am admitting people. Kim, if you have the floor whenever you're ready.
Sorry, I had myself muted. I have very poorly behaved dogs. So let me close this door. See if that helps. It's so good to see everybody's faces. Oh my gosh. Hello, everybody. You just forget how good looking this bunch is. How are we doing? Are they getting in? Are they
Yep, we are currently up to 55 and people are coming in by the second.
Oh, that's
good. Good. Well, everybody looks to be holding up pretty well. I mean, or you're faking it really well, one or the other. You're doing a good job. All right. Let's see. Oh, Bill said the link. Oh, are you reading these? The link.
Yeah, I got it. Don't worry about the chat.
Okay, cool. Good. All right, so while we're talking about that, really quickly, if you guys have any questions or comments while we're rolling in here, down at the bottom, you have a little chat feature, so you can type whatever questions or comments. Keep them clean. That's all I can say. They don't have to be positive. We want real stuff. Just keep. And we are going to record this, so we'll post it on the Facebook page. And then also at the end of the meeting, a few of us are going to have to clock out because we have other meetings right after this. But we're going to leave some open time. If you have any listings, if you have any listings coming up or new listings that you would like to share, we'll leave a little time at the end for you all to do a little swap and discussion and all that fun stuff. So we have Mr. Eric Ransom. Could you unmute yourself, please? And is Megan on?
Yeah, Megan is here.
Okay, perfect.
First of all, I don't think I've ever been asked to unmute myself in life, so that's really a good feeling. And for those of you I was on a call with at 8:30, nice job pulling it together since then, because people were putting on makeup and things like that.
That was me.
So I'm on just briefly to talk about Red Day, and just because we have COVID-19 in our lives does not mean we're not going to have Red Day. Mo Anderson has made that very clear, and I think the spirit of Keller Williams is not that we would just, shrink and not try to do anything to give back to the community like we do every year. So Brian Kemp a couple of months ago brought to me the idea of the Family Mentor Foundation, which helps kids with food insecurity. He learned about it through the Worthington Realtor Association. And Megan, Megan, you say your name when we get to you, and I apologize. I've been practicing it for days, and Jeshueli. I am terrible, and I don't know why that name has got me. But Megan is the executive director. She's also was a realtor in a past life, and is Jim and Chris Case's daughter. And Megan's on with us to tell us a little bit about the organization. I will tell you, our goal for Keller Williams Capital Partners is to raise a minimum of $5,000 for the Family Mentor Foundation between now and Red Day, which is May 14th. So there'll be some more information coming out about how we can support that and how we can make donations. So Megan, do you want to tell us a little bit about the organization that we'll be helping, please?
Well, hi, everyone. First of all, I want to thank you so much for your support. I mean, this is amazing. Wow. So our organization works to provide weekend food to kids in need. And many kids who qualify for the free and reduced lunch program they really struggle on the weekends. There's very little to eat at home. And so that's where our organization works to bridge the gap. We do that with our Buddy Box program. A Buddy Box is a box that's filled with non-perishable, kid-friendly food items that kids can just open and prepare themselves. Our goal is to just remove the middleman and get food to the kids. And we do this, we partner with schools in Worthington, Columbus, and Southwestern City schools to do this. So we deliver the boxes, or our volunteers rather deliver the boxes to the schools, and then the schools distribute to the kiddos. So this school year, we're feeding 1,500 kids in those together in those districts there. And last year we fed 900. So this was quite an increase for us, and we've been increasing each year. So, but that's where we're at. We were in 18 schools last year, and now we are in 30 schools this school year. Now, of course, this is pre-COVID. During COVID, we are delivering to the feeding sites that are organized by the districts.
Megan, thank you very much. And guys, the plan was to go on site and for us to be there packing Buddy Boxes and assisting with that, and even trying to do some food donations from our clients and those sorts of things. Obviously, in this environment, we can't do that, but we're going to look at ways down the road to continue to support them. Megan, one of the things we talked about this morning was maybe we could get you to do a little FaceTime video that we can share if you're still going into the office at all, so we can kind of see what the inner workings are like, and you and I can work on that behind the scenes to continue to provide some information.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for being here, and we'll be in touch with everyone on more information about Red Day. Thanks. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Megan.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, Eric. Miss Joanne, you want to tell us a little bit about some DocuSign?
Yes, ma'am. May 15th is our date. That's when we're switching over to DocuSign. So we need to get the whole market center ready for this. The first time you log into DocuSign, you're going to go through command just like you did with .loop. However, if you have an existing account with DocuSign, you will not be able to use that same email address. So make sure you have a different email address. If you want to use that email address, you're going to have to terminate that account first before you even try to set up your new KW DocuSign account. DocuSign is ready and waiting for you. All of our documents are in there except for the RPD. Somehow they missed that when we sent in all our documents, and that will be in there shortly within a couple days. If you need to use it, you can always fill it out by hand and upload the PDF in and use it that way. If you need any help with DocuSign, you don't understand how to use it, it looks like a foreign animal to you, Scott Leroy Marketing has lots of videos that will help you. He's got a 1-hour video, DocuSign 101, and it takes you from entering your contact all the way through to having them sign a document in DocuSign. So it'll include command plus DocuSign. So that's a great way to learn that. They do it live every month. If you want to join that, you can get on their website and see when that is, but they have recordings on YouTube, and those are nice because you can stop the video and do what they're suggesting that you do, so you can work along with them. They also have a lot of little 5-minute videos on there on a specific topic. For instance, you get DocuSign, you just forget how you're supposed to send a document to a client to have them sign it. Well, there's a 5-minute video out there on how to do just that, so you don't have to watch the whole 1-hour video again. So lots of those little tidbits. So definitely take advantage of that. It's a great resource for us.
Joanne, I have a question.
Yes.
Where are those videos? Where can they find those videos?
They're on YouTube. Scott, and just look up in the search bar, Scott Leroy Marketing DocuSign, and they'll all populate for you. You can choose the one you want. Thanks.
Thank you.
You want to make sure you back up your .loop in command before we're shut off. So you go to your opportunities and there's an import button, and then you just follow the directions that pop up from there. So you can import all your loops into Command. If you would prefer, there is an app called API Nation or Appy Nation. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I kind of like the Appy because it's kind of like happy, but anyway, you can find that on .loop. You go up into the top right where your picture or your initials are and hit the drop down, and there's a help center, and they will give you the directions on how to do that. So that, however, has a $5, it's a minimum of $5 a month subscription to use that. So just something to think about.
Joanne, 2 questions from the chat.
Yes.
Can we use .loop and pay for it ourselves?
Yes.
Thanks.
The Market Center will not have access to it. So they'll still have to bring everything over into Command.
Great, thanks.
Okay. And then also, do they need to import all of their old loops, or will they still have access to those?
I can't say definitively that they'll have access to it. We've been told they would. I would recommend importing, though, just to be safe.
Okay.
As to keeping .loop, I have been hearing from people that there is some scrubbing of data going on. Maybe Kim can speak to it, but I am hearing that from a couple of people. Obviously, Zillow owns .loop.
No.
So I want you to be aware of that if you continue in there, but make sure your documents are coming over to Command and are being backed up and saved.
Right.
All right, thanks, Lori. Just a couple last minute thoughts. We have some new vocabulary words we're all going to have to get on the same page with. We're not going to be talking about loops anymore. We'll be talking about rooms. And green sheets, which we are no longer using, please do not submit green sheets, are now offers and commissions. So, and that's all through Command. We'll be using Command only. So just some parting thoughts. We are projecting our office income over the next couple months, and we need your help to do that. And you do that by submitting your offers and commissions within 3 days of going into contract. It's really important so we can keep tabs on where the Market Center is financially right now. Just like you should be doing in your own business, we need to keep track of our business. So if you could help us with that, it would be greatly appreciated. And that's all I have. And it's so good to see everybody, and I miss you all.
Before you move on, Joanne, one more question. If someone has an active loop closing after May 15th, can they still work the loop until it closes?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay. And then Joe Jackson has a comment on DocuSign. Joe, if you want to unmute, you can go ahead.
Hello.
Hi, Joe. We can hear you.
I've been watching the Scott Leroy video, and the DocuSign 101 is very comprehensive. I get about halfway through it, and I realize this is going to be a very big task for us to use. As I feel DocuSign is probably 7 times more confusing than .loop. Of course, I thought .loop was confusing. And I'm just wondering, it's too late, but you know, our company invested all this money in Command. It was a great CRM, which is a work in progress. Didn't they really look at the complexity of DocuSign and try to figure out maybe we could create our own contract portal? Because DocuSign is just I don't know. I may end up just paying and keep paying and paying for .loop.
Yeah.
My team .loop is $180 a month, and if it takes me 3 more hours to use DocuSign than .loop, I just lost money. But then I'm afraid of my data being scrubbed.
Yeah.
That's my biggest fear.
But
I know it's a data game.
but if we erase the data right away, would that protect it, Lori?
But you got to keep your loop. You got to keep your contracts.
Well, well, not if you move everything over to command and then delete it.
Good point.
You've deleted afterwards.
You can't delete though, you archive.
Oh, that's right. Darn, you're right. Mm.
Yeah, I'm 4 hours already into DocuSign, and if somebody said you had to write a contract on DocuSign right now, I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah. We're old, Joe.
No, I would say eventually we will have our own, but it's just like everything else. It's a systematic tier of level of importance of what we have to do, and just to operate on a daily basis. So right now, the safest thing to do was to move over and work with DocuSign. I cannot say that it's going to be anything that's going to be soon. So I would say invest the time. If you care about protecting your data, I would just invest the time and learn the system and do it. I'm having to do it.
Yeah.
Not trying, but I'm doing it for what that's worth.
Okay, well, that is all the questions we have in the chat. I'm answering one question in chat, but we can move on.
Mary and Renee, what you got, ladies?
Before we move on, I want to go back. Sorry, this is Sue. I want to go back to the question about, I missed the part where they said we can keep .loop and pay for it, correct?
Correct.
Is that accurate?
Yes, you can keep .loop and pay for it. Okay, Mary
Are we ready to
and
talk
Renee?
about fun stuff like loans?
Yeah.
So this has been a very hot topic the last couple of weeks. So Mary's going to start off by talking about the SBA loan, which is what we are hearing from all recommendations that you most definitely want to file for this one first. So I'm going to turn that over to Mary, and then I will talk about the PPP program.
Hello, everyone. I echo the sentiment that it's so nice to see so many beautiful faces out there today. A couple of the things that Renee and I have been working on with the Market Center is trying to understand the opportunities for funding from the Small Business Administration. And there are a few opportunities, and I'm just going to share with you the page from the Small Business Administration so you guys can see where we're getting our information and use this as your resource. So let me just pull it up real quick here.
And while she's pulling that up, I just want to give the disclaimer that we are not experts on this by any means. It's just we've spent a lot of time researching it, talking to our own individual lenders. So this page that she's about to share with you will answer so many of your questions. And also, if you have not watched a video that Taylor Colin put on our Facebook page from Labco agents, it's kind of lengthy, but the first 20 to 25 minutes of that is so informative. So I encourage you to go there and watch that video.
Thanks, Renee. So this is, when I Google COVID-19 SBA, it will take you to this homepage for the Small Business Administration. And you'll see up here at the top of the page that there are relief options and additional resources. So we will click there in a minute, but I just want to scroll down so you can see these different funding options, which I think is really important because there's a variety of programs and it can get a little confusing. Renee is going to talk about this one here, the Paycheck Protection Program. And I'm going to talk about the EIDL loan advance. And EIDL stands for Economic Injury Disaster Loan. These are loans that have been typically made available to people who've been in the path of hurricanes or the fires. This is now available to all of us as small business owners. And the loan will provide an advance of up to $10,000 that will be forgiven or forgivable should you use it to, and you'll need to provide evidence that you've used those funds to keep your business going. In going back to Renee's point earlier about watching the lab coat video, this is really step number one for everybody, okay? And you can click on these links to learn more. There are also SBA Express Bridge loans available to people, and then people who already have Small Business Administration loans, there are some relief options for repayment. If we click here on these additional resources, again, it's going to just kind of take you through all of the different options, and will tell you that I don't want to say that the program necessarily changes daily. However, the information that we've been getting does change. So just want to make you all aware that everybody has access to that economic injury disaster loan, and the first $10,000 of it is forgivable. Over to you, Renee.
As far as the PPP, also called the Payment Protection Program, on that SBA.gov website, you can go directly to applying for the Paycheck Protection Program if you have not already gotten an application from your lender. So what this loan is designed to do is to give you funds to cover payroll, rent, mortgage, interest, and utilities. And through that application, you will figure out what your average monthly cost is, and you can receive up to 2.5 times the amount for that. There was a question yesterday that an agent brought to me about their lender saying that they were not able to provide that to them because they did not have a business account. I have not seen that anywhere on the SBA page, but what I want to encourage you to do is, if you're having that issue with your lender, at the top of the PPP program, it says find a lender, and all you have to do is put in a zip code. So you may be able to find another lender that's not taking any further applications, or you're having an issue with your application. I would just keep trying. So this program's available through June 30th, and it is open to any small business, sole proprietors, independent contractors, and self-employed persons. So again, I cannot encourage you guys enough to apply. And this is, there's been some talk about double dipping. So from what I understand is that you don't want to intermix these with payroll if you apply for the PPP and the SBA. So you need to be looking at your business, figuring out what you want to use these funds for. I have heard that the SBA is more like if you do have payroll and rent and utilities that you want to use the PPP program for, the SBA is a great option for your operating expenses. So if you guys have questions, I would recommend you could reach out to Mary and I, because I'm sure there's probably a lot of questions on this part. We would be more than happy to answer those for you after the call or through email.
Renee, where is the PPP application where you can find out the lenders? What website is that?
I typed in, and I don't know how to get to it from Mary's shared screen, but I typed in COVID-19 Paycheck Protection Program, and it took me directly to the SBA.gov website. And there are all kinds of links on there about frequently asked questions. The application, there's a link and it pulls the application right up for you. And I would be more than happy if anybody needs it or had trouble finding it, I can send it to you as well.
Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions about the loan, so we will move on to my portion. So I'm going to talk to you guys about 3 things. I'm going to talk to you first about Bold Pivot because they've made quite a few changes to the format of Bold Pivot. So there's now no limit on registrations for Bold Pivot, which is awesome. Originally, they were limiting it to like 140 people, but now it's unlimited, and it's not even just offered to KW agents. It's offered to anyone that wants to take it. So if you have a friend from another brokerage that you think would enjoy it or get value out of it, I would recommend inviting them. So it's 4 weeks long, starting on May 5th. It is now going to be live streamed from a various amount of different Bold coaches. It'll be every Tuesday and Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. So that is different, like very different from how it was previously. So they've just moved it to the afternoon to accommodate different time zones. So 2 to 4 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday starting May 5th. And then there's also going to be each week an optional coaches corner on Wednesdays and Fridays, which will be like script practice, objection handling, and like different masterminding sessions. So that's available to you as well. When you sign up, you would also be a part of the private Bold Pivot Facebook group. And so they'll be sharing resources on that. And then they also will put the recordings of each Tuesday and Thursday session, which is nice because this means that if you have to miss one, you're not going to miss out on that content. So it's only $99 for this Bold Pivot, which I think is like a screaming deal. So definitely consider going. I think you guys would get a lot of value out of it. And it's like a fourth of the time commitment as typical Bold is, because it's only 4 hours a week for 4 weeks. So I have posted the link to sign up on our Facebook page, but I will post it again. And again, it's open to anybody. So feel free to invite your different friends. Question from the chat: what are we going to learn in this new Bold? It's my understanding that they've completely taken the skills that you typically learn in Bold and they've reworked it for like the shift that we're in right now. So it's going to be very timely. And if anybody from leadership wants to pipe in from something you've heard on the calls, it's very timely to what we're going through in the market right now.
Absolutely. So they have completely shifted to what's going on. And as far as how you're going to run your business, doing things via technology, how to use the tools that we already have and incorporate those into your business faster and in ways that are relevant. So it's going to be an unprecedented Bold. I'm very excited. Like I said, I love Bold, don't get me wrong, but I'm actually excited about this Bold. And I always get excited about all Bolds. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah. So that is Bold Pivot. So keep an eye out for those links. It does start in less than a month, so May 5th. So don't miss out on that if you're interested. It's only $99. We have not given out any scholarships for it, but we do have those options. So if you feel like the investment of $99 is out of your reach right now, please reach out to somebody on the leadership team and we can work with you, because we think there is just tremendous value in this right now. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. Another thing, so our KW Capital Cares, so we were not able to have our Cares lunch in March, and we're also not going to be able to have our Cares lunch in April. But we know that this is very important to all of our agents and also to the leadership team, that we are anticipating the needs that we may have, especially 90 days out from all of this. So you still have options to donate to Capital Cares. You can send us a check to the Market Center. So we're still receiving mail every day. So you can send a check made out to KW Capital Cares, or you can put in the memo line that it's for a CARES donation. You can make a note in the commissions tab of your opportunity, and then we can just take it straight out of your next commission. And then if you also just don't want to wait, you can always call Renee and give her your card information, and she can run a donation just straight on your card. It looks like most of the apps like Venmo and Zelly, we've been looking into these and they only support peer-to-peer donation or peer-to-peer transactions at this time. So we're not able to set up a business account with most of these apps, but we're still working to try to find another option. So if you don't want to mail in a check or you don't anticipate a commission coming in soon enough, you can always call Renee and she can run it straight to your card over the phone. So that is Capital Cares. So that's still happening. And if you'd like to make a donation, those are your options. We also just wanted to make sure everyone was aware of the awesome resources that are on KW Connect. So if you just go to kwconnect.com, they've completely reworked that homepage to be resources for the shift that we're in right now. So there are live streams from KWRI daily, like 4 every day. And they all have every single past live stream they've done on demand on that website. So you can go back and rewatch or watch something that you missed. And they also have more like physical resources like scripts, and like shift book study guides that you can look at. So if you just go to kwconnect.com, it's all right there. So we want to make sure you knew about that. And that is all I have. Lori's next.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Not really, Lori. Your microphone is coming in kind of weird.
Should I leave and come back in?
You could try that. We could go to Jill and then come back to you next.
Okay, let me see.
Jill, you want to take the floor?
Sure. I just wanted to share a couple of things. First, on kind of how I'm working with sellers. You guys may already be doing this. To get a house ready for sale now, I'm having them FaceTime me through the house. So I'm doing basically a staging appointment, but they're FaceTiming at the same time, which is a little awkward, you know, because I'll have to say things like, okay, back me up, turn me left, turn me right. But it seems to be working, you know, and it's actually developing a lot more rapport with the people, I think, because some of it is funny, the things that happen. So that's working well. And then I just wanted to say for agents who haven't been in a shift before, what worked for me and what made me come out stronger from the last shift than I was before the shift was actually concentrating on my sphere, you know, totally concentrating on building personal relationships with people in my sphere and being super visible in my actual neighborhood. And that's not, and by building relationships, I don't mean that I would call everyone in my sphere constantly and ask them for, do you want to buy? Do you want to sell? It would be just things like, oh my goodness, I drove by your house. I saw your flowers. They look nice. You know, just everything like that. And I gave everyone the impression that I was out and about and definitely doing business. And I think just that positivity and the pure focus on sphere made a huge difference. And so before the shift, I was at one level. Doing that through the shift, when it ended last time, I was at a whole different level. So just, I mean, agents who went through that shift also, when I was doing that, you guys all know that because you're stronger than you were before. But agents who haven't experienced that, I just wanted to share. That's it.
Thank you, Jill. Lori, you want to try again?
Okay, can you hear me?
Much better.
Okay, great. All right, I have been getting questions, as you can imagine, on various things like addendum and MLS rules. So I thought I'd just recap a few things. The listing COVID addendum that came to us from Ohio Realtors is not a mandatory form, but it is a form we should present to all sellers. Most have no problem signing that. And if they do not wish to sign it, just note that on the form and simply load it in there. But that was a very comprehensive document put out by legal at Ohio Realtors. Some of you have asked, do I still need to get it signed if we're in contract and we're not showing? Not necessary, but certainly new listings, we want to give the seller an awareness and all the information that we possibly can. On the other addendums that Columbus Realtors vetted for us and had Bill Fergus and the attorney for the board look at, those are documents that are there for use if needed. They don't go with every contract. So there are addendums for after you're in contract or whatever. There are termination, COVID related termination documents, but they're only there if you need to use them. So clarification on that. And then also back on the COVID listing addendum, it's not necessary for me to sign it. At the bottom where it says brokerage, it doesn't say broker. You type in our brokerage name and you sign it just the same as you sign the listing agreements, okay? Then finally, the MLS exclusive waiver. Most of you who have ever used that document got an email explaining what it is and what it isn't. It's still not clear to me on one account, and that is if we get a listing signed now and we're not going to go active for 3 or 4 weeks down the road, should we still use this document? I'm going to get clarification today at 2:30 on that because it can be read 2 ways. But what the document, if we sign it now, we have a listing document signed, we can mark it within our own brokerage if we use that exclusive waiver, that is with each other and to our own personal clients. But the danger becomes if somehow or another that gets leaked out, then we have to be active within 24 hours. So that has to be explained to the seller that they can't be telling friends and neighbors and all of that kind of thing while we're in this holding or waiting period. So I'm going to get some clarification on, do we still need to send that form in if we have a listing signed, but we're not doing any advertising at all? That's the key. There can be no advertising. Previous, when we used that form, we began pre-marketing, and that's not allowed. So if it's truly going to be a document we can just use temporarily while the seller is prepping within the brokerage, and or is it meant for it to be exclusively for a total pocket listing, never going into the MLS? That's what's not clear to some of us brokers. So I'll get more clarification on that. But effective the 15th, which is tomorrow, that's our Capital Partners deadline. And so we're not going to do pre-marketing, Facebook, Zillow, whatever you were doing out in the public, unless you're prepared to take that listing active within 24 hours. So let's understand that. NAR did say there would be no forgiveness. May 1 is the absolute deadline. They were not extending that out. And the fines will begin June 1st. So we don't want that. But just some clarifications, and I'm always happy to talk to you one-on-one. I miss you all.
Thanks, Lori.
Okay.
Brian?
I'm up next. All right. Hopefully, I don't know if you all can see this or not. Is it backwards?
No, it's good. Just
Can you read
it so they
this?
can, you have to read it to them.
It said, realtors who haven't been able to tell strangers that they are a realtor for the last 2 weeks. So put her face back up there again. So sorry, had to start with a little bit of humor. So thank you all. A couple of quick notes to kind of go back with what Jill was talking about, I had two things that I wanted to share. I had some clients last week. I wish that this was my brilliant idea, but it was theirs. And we put an occupied property on the market, and they were not completely comfortable staying there during showings. And we went back and forth, and they called and said, you know what? We've rented an Airbnb for 4 days, and we're going to move out, and we will allow you to show the house anytime between Thursday and Friday. The other thing that's come up, if I do own an Airbnb, I don't know if anyone else on this call does as well, but bookings have been being canceled. And so the cost of their Airbnb was very inexpensive at this time as well. So if you're having challenges with sellers not wanting to be around when their home is on the market, that might be something to consider. Secondly, we're making care calls to our database. We've made a commitment to our coach that we will call at least 10 people a day. And I don't, I'm like probably a lot of you, I like making phone calls. I don't like calling and asking for business. And so, as I said, these are care calls. One thing that she suggested is that we create a landing page for Keller Mortgage and Keller Covered. And you can do this very simply, and it's branded, and then you can send it out during your care calls. So and I will make sure that that Kayla shares this with everyone after the call. But the website is Keller Covered, COVERED.com/agent assets, plural, / and that will lead you to a page where you can create your own personalized landing pages for Keller Mortgage and Keller Covered. Keller Mortgage, if you're not aware, and this will show you when you go on to log in and set up your pages, Keller Mortgage has saved our clients $119,546,000. That's incredible. They're doing refinances right now, and please take advantage of it. It's a perfect time to call your clients and see how they're doing and just say, I've got 2 money-saving ideas that might be important for you right now. The other thing that's nice about when you go and set up these landing pages, it'll also give you the text scripts, easy for me to say, the phone scripts, and also email scripts. So you don't have to recreate any of this. It's all in there for you. So please take advantage of it. And also remember that the activities that we are doing today will show up 90 days from now. So I would just like to close my portion with renewing your mind with truth. What we are dealing with, no one in our lifetime has dealt with. This hasn't happened in over 100 years. We will get through this. Control your thoughts and also control your attitude. Don't let your circumstances control your mindset. You can make excuses and you can also make progress, yet you cannot do both. And lastly, take breaks. Embrace the pause. Get outside. Look at nature. Breathe the fresh air. Notice the growth of new plants that are emerging from winter hibernation. Listen to the birds. Wave at your neighbors. Go for a walk. We've been walking almost every morning and every evening. Turn off your TV and read a good book. Embrace the pause.
Are you waiting on me? I thought we were pausing. I thought we were embracing it.
Pause.
It worked. One more quick note, and also very serious. Some of you may have seen this and you may have not, but Mana Cope's mother passed away yesterday. So please keep her in your prayers.
Kim, anything else you'd like to add?
That's terrible. No, I mean, I agree with you, Brian. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I just, you know, right now, so many things, you know, people are dealing with terrible things, you know, just like, I mean, I can't imagine right now what Mana is going through, not being able to be with family, not being able to have people around you to support you at a time like this. So I just feel like, you know, we need to reach out. And I mean, I know you don't want to bombard people, but I just think to let her know that we care and we're here. I mean, it's better than nothing. It's a terrible circumstance right now. And I just think it puts things into perspective. And I know that this is a big inconvenience, so to speak, for a lot of us. And it's very scary for a lot of us, but also it's exactly what Brian just said. We really need to embrace what's going on. And we need to be able to just take this opportunity to reach out to people that we haven't been able to do that to in a long time, and have conversations that we haven't had before, and be grateful for the things that we do have, and be grateful that we are so smart and so resourceful. And I really mean that. You know, we are a very resourceful people that have the capacity to come out of this very strong. So I think that right now we just need to focus on the relationship component, and just what he said, embrace the quiet and embrace the stillness, and just use this time to kind of get recentered.
Great. Well, that's all that the leadership team has for you guys. We wanted to give you the opportunity to stay on if you wanted to talk about any new listings or any just wins or strategies that you've had. So feel free to stay on. I'll stay on until everyone wants to leave. And if you have something you'd like to bring up, you can put it in the chat, and I'll just kind of call on people as we go. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
It's great to see your faces.
So Eric Ransom would like to mention a listing. So Eric, feel free to unmute.
Quick, before everybody drops off, I've got a listing coming up tomorrow on Loch Ness in Olentangy Highlands. It needs a little bit of work, but it's very well maintained. It'll be $335,000, and we should be listed by the end of the day tomorrow. So let me know if you've got any questions on that.
Awesome. Vinny has a listing. Vinny, do you want to unmute, or do you want me just to read it? Oh, he's signed. Oh, he's still there. Okay, I'll read it for him. He has a listing on 8400 Roberts Road coming up on Thursday. He says, sell it now. So, I mean. Donna is a new grandmother. Donna, would you like to share?
I have my very first and probably my only grandson was born Friday night at 11:53. Yeah, so exciting.
Yay.
He's beautiful and weighed 8 pounds, 13 ounces.
Wow, that's awesome. So happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you for mentioning it. I'm proud of my son and his wife. It's wonderful.
Yeah, you should be. Awesome. Mary has 2 listings to mention.
Hello, Barbara Jean, the lovely Barbara Jean Schaefer, and I have a new listing coming at on East Beck Street in German Village. It's a probably 2, really more of a 1-bedroom, all brick, will be listed next week in the $325 range. And then I've got one coming, a 2-bedroom in Grandview coming also, and that's going to be in the $285 range. So I'll have more details. I can't remember the address, and I don't think Barbara has a microphone, but I think it's 114 East Beck Street that's coming. So that's all I've got.
Awesome, thanks. Sue Westgleach.
Yeah, I have 2 new listings. Both are in Clintonville. One's at 511 Acton Road, and It's a great 1,700 square foot cape, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths. It's in really, really good condition. It's priced at $339. Clean, clean, clean. 2-car garage, great part of the street, the widest part of the street to be specific. So it's really nice. I have one coming up. Showings will start Thursday at 3271 Milton in South Clintonville. This is an awesome 3-bedroom. It's only 1,300 square feet. Backs, or it's like one house away from Como Park, the bike paths and everything else down there. Really well done. 3-bedroom, 1 bath, big open kitchen, eating space. Bath is super nice and been opened up to be bigger upstairs. And the price on that's going to be $299. Showings will start on that on Thursday, and then showings are ongoing right now on Acton. Thanks.
Thanks, Sue. Justin, a horse farm?
Yes, it's a horse farm on Horseshoe Road in Delaware, Ohio. It's 6.2 acres in size. The barn itself has 4 stalls for horses and 3 horse paddocks. Their asking price is $499.9.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome. It's a beautiful place.
Jill Fergus, 2 listings.
One is a condo in Millington, which is off of Mill Run, right in Hilliard. It's a ranch unit. It's in the bottom level. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, and it also has a garage. And it's been redone inside. It is $154. And then tomorrow I will have available one in German Village, actually Schumacher Place on Whittier, kind of corner of Whittier and Washington. It's a brick 2-story, last redone kitchen and bath probably in 1980. So it needs redone again. It's got some nice original features though. And one of the best parts is a big 2-car detached garage. And it is $250.
Awesome, thank you, Jill. Jacqueline. So Jacqueline says she has a freestanding condo.
Sorry.
Oh, there you
Hi.
are. Hi.
I'm actually over here right now while he's gone. I'm trying to stage it. Yep, tomorrow we're gonna hit the listing in Galloway, freestanding condo, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, around the $155,000 range. Bring us a bar. Thank you. It's good to see everybody.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you for doing all this.
You're welcome. Brian, 2 listings.
We're going to have a back on the market. It was off the market for the winter out at Buckeye Lake. It's on an island, Orchard Island. It's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath home right on the waterfront. It's on an island with 11 other homes. And we can the boats are running, so we can get out there. If anyone wants to go for a boat ride, it's a really cool house. We'll have that up probably in about a week. You can look at the expired listing. If you just type in Orchard Island, it shows up. And then secondly, we have a new to the market listing in Lancaster. It's in just outside of downtown. It's a little area it's nicknamed Pill Hill. Because a lot of the doctors in Lancaster originally lived there. This is a mid-century modern. It's a 5-level split, 5 bedrooms, 3 full baths, and it's going to be priced in the low 300s. So probably 300, 310, somewhere in there, and that should be on. We're doing photos and virtual tour later today, so probably up by the end of the week.
Awesome, thanks, Brian. Scrolling through the Tiger King conversation about Justin's farmhouse to get to Sue, who has another listing to mention.
So I apologize, I forgot. We're just putting this on the market today. That's actually Aaron's listing on our team. and it's at 9825 Malibu Court in Plain City. It is 10 minutes away from Dublin. This is a 3-pillar built home, beautiful inside, very well done. 4 bedrooms, 4.5 baths. It's 3,250 square feet, including the finished lower level, which is fantastic. It's priced at $475, and today is the first day on the market and available for showings. So, great house, 3-car garage. So keep it in mind if you got somebody wanting to, Jonathan Alder Schools. Thanks.
Thanks, Sue. Bree, go ahead. You have the floor. 3 listings.
All right, I'm reading off my notes. We have one coming up this weekend in Winding Brook Court, which is Dublin Schools. It's going to be listed at $355. We also have another one, I think that's listing Friday or Saturday, that is in Royal Dornoch, and it has a first floor owner suite, and it's on a nice corner lot. That's at $290. And another one, I think this is listing next week though, is 616 Juniper Lane in Gahanna.
Thanks, Bree. Well, that's all I have in the chat. If anyone has anything left that they'd like to share, feel free to type it in there. And if not, then I hope to see you guys soon. It was great to see you.
Hey, thank you, everybody.
All right, bye, guys. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.